Welcome to Capital OTB's Daily Report, brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com. Don't forget, if you don't have a Capital OTB Bet account, no better time than present to sign up. Go to CapitalOTB.com for more information on the sign up. And just have to alert you, there's nothing like being a member of Capital OTB Bet. We offer our patrons plenty of promotions, in this past Derby weekend. The patrons walked away flush on Friday. The Pick 5 bankroll team walked away splitting up over $9,000. On Saturday, the two syndicates, the Derby syndicate plays over $20,000 in winnings. It was a huge weekend for some of the OTB patrons who were able to participate in the bankroll teams and the syndicate this past weekend. More promos coming up. As always, you can check the website for those. I'll update you a little later in the program, specifically what comes up this week. But again, you have to be a member of CapitalOTBBet.com to participate in these promos. So check the website for more information. CapitalOTB.com. I'm Seth Merrill. This is the Daily Report for Wednesday, May 5th. As always, we like to start with a trivia question and try to keep it pertinent to the time. And this past weekend, Bob Baffert broke the record that had been held by D. Wayne Lukas, the most Grade 1 wins in a training career. How many wins does Bob Baffert have now in Grade 1s? He broke that Grade 1 record, again, that was established and held by D. Wayne Lukas. This past weekend, Bob Baffert broke the Grade 1 win record at Churchill Downs. How many Grade 1 wins does Bob Baffert currently have? We will answer the question at the end of the program. You may have read it over the weekend. Did you retain it, however? We'll check at the end of the show. Now let's get underway for the Daily Report on this Wednesday, May 5th.
Medina Spirit and Mandaloun are stride for stride. Hot Rod Charlie and Essential Quality closing on the outside. The four of them come into the final furlong. Mandaloun fighting for the front. Medina Spirit battles on. Hot Rod Charlie on the outside. Essential Quality on the far outside. The four of them coming to the finish in the Kentucky Derby. Here's the wire. Bob Baffert does it again. Medina Spirit has won the Kentucky Derby. Mandaloun was second, Hot Rod Charlie was third, Essential Quality was fourth. 2:01:02 the final time. Bob Baffert stands alone with 7 Derby wins.
That was the Derby stretch run from this past Saturday, and at a long price. I came up just short with Mandaloun. I thought the whole stretch Mandaloun was going to go by, but no. A gutsy, gritty Medina Spirit held on. I felt Bob Baffert was kind of cold watering him in some of the interviews last week, and I'm not sure that wasn't the case, and Bob Baffert wasn't a little surprised. The Kentucky HBPA, which again, last couple of weeks we've been pulling some of their interviews from the backstretch, they had post-Derby interviews as well available, and they caught up with Bob Baffert on Sunday, the day after the Kentucky Derby. On the backstretch, Baffert held court for a while, and here's a little bit of that interview talking about the win by Medina Spirit and the fact that he kind of surpassed expectations a little bit, and just what it meant to him, and breaking the record of most Derby wins as well. He didn't just break the Grade 1 win record. Kentucky Derby helped him break the record for the most wins by a trainer at the Kentucky Derby. He also won a stakes race on the weekend for his wife, a nice important stakes race there also. So it was a big weekend for Bob Baffert, and as I say, he talks a little bit about Medina Spirit, the weekend in general. Here he is from the day after the Derby on the backstretch, trainer Bob Baffert.
You know what, I was coming in here, I was like, I wasn't sure. I thought everything had to go perfect for him, and I didn't know if they're going to let him. We were going to go to the lead and see what happened, but I thought if they challenged him, we didn't know what was going to happen, and he made the lead pretty easily for him, and a lot of the other speed horse didn't break, and that's about the Derby. You got to get the trip. The horse didn't get to trip, but when I see him going down the backside, he was doing it easy. You could tell he was enjoying himself. His ears were forward, and turning for home, they came to him, and he dug in. I didn't know if he was still going to do it, but he just dug in and fought hard, and sort of the same race he ran at Santa Anita when he won the Robert Lewis, and they came to him and he just fended them all off, and and I couldn't believe at 16th pole, like he was actually going to do it, and he was fighting, so it was just a thrill. It was just to watch him do it and fight on. And he came back and he acted like he was handling pretty well. He wasn't as tired as I thought he would, because after a big race like that, they're pretty tired. But he handled it really well. After talking to Johnny Velazquez, after the race, he said he showed me a gear that I didn't know that he had. And so, and you start going to mile and a quarter like that. They start. What he did, he ran, it wasn't like he was going real, wasn't slow. They still went 46 and change. But just the way he did it and the way he, kept on going, he was just pretty exciting.
You've had some pretty spectacular days on the track, but yesterday you break the Derby record, you break the Grade 1 record, your wife wins a race. How did yesterday fare compared to some others?
Yeah, it was nice seeing Gamine win and, getting that record of, Wayne Lukas, who I've always thought he's the greatest ever, because he's just, what he did in the quarter horse. I've been chasing him forever in the quarter horse business in thoroughbred. And then my wife's horse won. Then it was like, wow, that's a huge accomplishment on the turf. And then for Medina to do what he did, it was just, man, it was just like these days you just got to really appreciate them. And it was great, for Emre Zadon, he was really, he was talking, well, he was convinced he was going to win the Kentucky Derby with his horse, but he was just he's really a cool guy, and he was just, well, whatever happens, and for him to win, he couldn't believe himself afterwards.
Were you trying to talk him down during the week at all?
Well, I just, going in, the expectation, I hate to come in here with huge high expectations, because if you don't, if you get beat, like a lot of people in there, everybody was telling me, like people that, an owner came up, he says, what should I expect? I said, expect for a beat down, so because you never know, Derby's crazy, expect to get beat, and otherwise you go in there, just have a good time, enjoy yourself. And if you win or run well, it's great. But just have that great time leading up to it. Enjoy yourself, and that's what I tell all my people. Just enjoy yourself, because when the gates come open, you don't know what's going to happen. And so, especially with 20 horses in there, and so and that little horse, he's not a little horse. He's a good-sized horse. I keep calling him little, but he's got a huge heart, and he's. He showed up, and until they go a mile and a quarter, that's when they start.
What about Baltimore? What kind of signals does he give you about, potentially coming back in 2 weeks? And then, for that matter, update us on Concert Tour and whether he'd be running there as well.
Yeah, so far he looks, he came out of it well. Usually it takes about a week. I just watch him closely. I'm going to come back next weekend. But right now, he looks, I don't see anything that would discourage me right now. Concert Tour, he worked well this morning. Sit down and talk to Mr. West. He wants that horse to develop, and don't get in a rush and things, and because we know he's a really good horse, so we'll just talk to him and see how he is next week and stuff. So.
Would there be a concern that they have similar running styles?
No, you know what? Right now, I never let that. Their styles could be similar, but the thing is, we just want to look at them, see how they're training.
Bob Baffert, post-Kentucky Derby, a big weekend for him, the Derby and beyond. Now it looks like on to Pimlico and the Preakness for Medina Spirit. Obviously, there will be the post-race week of looking at horses and checking things out. But as of midweek here, 10 days out or so, looks like potentially a field of 10 expected for the Preakness. Essential Quality looks like that one won't run in the Preakness. But Mandaloun, potentially from the Brad Cox barn, pointed towards the Preakness, as well as Caddo River from Brad Cox. Concert Tour, the stablemate in the Baffert barn of Medina Spirit, looks like a candidate as well. Looking like potentially field of 10, but that can shake out some more in the next week and a half. We will keep our ear to the ground. Keep our ear to the ground and our eyes to the sky, and we will give you a little update on what's coming up at Capital OTB, Capital OTB TV, and CapitalOTBBet.com on this Wednesday, May 5th. Finger Lakes back in action. I know a lot of folks enjoy the Finger Lakes product during the year, and they are underway with their typical, it goes maybe the first couple of weeks or so. You have the little short sprint races to get some of these horses back in shape. Some of the Finger Lakes regulars who have taken time off since Finger Lakes wrapped up the season, but they're underway at Finger Lakes on Wednesday afternoon. They've kicked off this week their action. Parks also among the tracks today. Thistledown, Saratoga Harness will kick off at around lunchtime. A little bit later on, Louisiana Downs, Penn National, Northfield, Mountaineer, and Yonkers. We do have nighttime thoroughbred racing available on this Wednesday afternoon/evening. Let me update you also on some of the promos that are coming up at Capital OTB. And I mentioned earlier last week the promos and the teams and the patrons that were able to participate knocked it out of the park. Last Friday, again, the bankroll promotion, and hats off to our colleague Mike Callahan, put together just a fabulous Pick 5 ticket for the bankroll team. Well over $9,000 split up amongst the 10 folks that were randomly selected for the bankroll team. Just knocked it out of the park. And then our two syndicates on Derby Day cashed for a combined total of over $20,000 amongst the folks that were participating on those syndicate teams as well. So it was a huge weekend for Capital OTB patrons and the promotions. Promotions coming up this week on Thursday. It's another bankroll, $200 Pick 4 bankroll. That's online. Check out the website for your chance to get on the bankroll team on Thursday. The prize wheel will be spinning at the Clubhouse Racebook on Friday afternoon. Come on down to the Racebook to take advantage of the potential to spin the prize wheel. That's 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Saturday, there's a $100 online knockout challenge. Again, check out the website, CapitalOTB.com, for more information. And Saturday at the Clubhouse Racebook, there's a trifecta challenge to potentially get you a little extra fun if you want to visit the Racebook on Saturday, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Again, you can always check out the website for more on the promotions and events at Capital OTB. CapitalOTB.com is the web address. Trivia question was, how many Grade 1 wins does Bob Baffert now have? He broke the record this past weekend at Churchill Downs. The record was held by D. Wayne Lucas. Now Bob Baffert, the owner of the most Grade 1 wins for a trainer. How many wins does Bob Baffert have? Grade 1 wins does Bob Baffert have? And here was the race that broke the record.
Gamine put to a drive. Sconson to the outside is second. Estilo Talentoso has taken third to the inside. Gamine's got a fight today. Sconson on the outside. Estilo Talentoso is third. Gamine's going to do it. It wasn't easy, but Gamine won it by almost 2 in the end.
That was Gamine winning the Grade 1 Derby City Distaff. That set the new record for trainer Bob Baffert. Bob Baffert broke the record of D. Wayne Lucas with the win by Gamine. How many did that establish for Bob Baffert? 220 Grade 1 wins. Pretty incredible number. I mean, that's Grade 1 wins in the career, 220. However, that is not the answer to our trivia question, because the question was, how many Grade 1 wins does Bob Baffert have? Well, he established a new record with Gamine and subsequently won the American Turf, another Grade 1 with Dujour. So he had 221. And then, of course, he won the Grade 1 Kentucky Derby with Medina Spirit. So 222 Grade 1 wins overall for trainer Bob Baffert, the record holder for Grade 1 wins in a training career. And counting, as it were. But at this point, 222, the answer to today's trivia question. That brings us to the close of this Wednesday, May 5th edition of the Daily Report, brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com. I'm Seth Merrow. As always, appreciate you tuning in. Spread the word. Good luck on Wednesday afternoon, evening.